So along the line, no, see, yentimi restructure na yanka same way, na yamfancy baby, we may even lose the deal, and that is a fact. So I think the government has a responsibility. And untina, sabi yebetimi achieve yetimi achieve na program na successful no. That is why IMF is calling on us there. The free SHS program over the years, ya pompi sika bebre aguma. Sabi makacho se program na ya nwene ho na akofo obi otu sin kwa education minister na okotena na obi onse mu nipa nka ho na po how they were drafting the free SHS policy no na adwuma be no ye na anoko gina kumawu ntinse mu na no gina no ka minister sabi nipa to aba ma represent nipa no ka kire omo se kumawufo obo they were Ashantis t-shirts no mu here they don't need development. He made those comments and got away.
Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo
Atiefo ne ahwefo yema obi biara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Sene your first time ha and as wonya subscribe to channel na. Subscribe to your channel na beka PENDREAM TV abusuakuo no. Sene be ya e the video fufuro tuma obe the first person I won sabeka. Na wanya ensem ne bia tie na wahu ensem a ekoso ewo Ghana. Ivan Innocent Kyei reacted to a IMF deal and as a successful IMF deal. Now was how likely it is say Yempening for ya omo crash down your economy to misuse that same funds again after a successful negotiation with the IMF. Say yina yebeka ya emrebe etwamu eye MPP and I say the current finance minister Ofori Atta edebetu just say we are not going to the IMF, we are a proud nation, we have the resources. Now they will not go to IMF as far as NPP remains in power. Enyo ononkwa other MPP gurus be assigned and some be ebetuja. Now and yembisa ye ho say are we seeking for help from the IMF, and I say we are not seeking for help from the IMF. And I said some MPP gurus some time ago say e-levy is going to save Ghana. Na e-levy akubam. Oka e-levy free SHS ebe solve e-levy ebe ma emrante and I said graduates adwuma e-levy be solve bibia. Na edru ba bi na e-levy antimi solve problems that na omoka say e-levy be solve nti almost sorted out to the IMF, and as almost started going to the IMF to have a negotiation. And into the Ofori Atta ekopie more IMF na IMF. Any IMF have a deal. Now finally no IMF approve Sikabi ama Ghana. And on Ivan Innocent Kyei react address Sikaya IMF ediama Ghana. Enya dia Ghana yebetimi ahweso. And I say enya dia yebetimi edia twitwa ye ho. Ye nyina yebeka ya emrebe etwa mu na adodankwa Akufo-Addo ne Ofori Atta ena afe nso no enkofo bi a omoka bi ewom. Eko China enim say eye bosia Ghana yabo China no ka China enhwe na omfa nchae na yenso entimi ende ye ho emfiri eka ye de ho na China kire say enya de ombetimi de ye ka achayen na eka bia ye de omubia no ye mombonde yentua. Na Ivan Innocent Kyei actually how likely it is for China to seize certain state properties in Ghana. Na mempese mechanism ni na no kame ho na yentie eye ensema and I say a brilliant messenger Ivan Innocent Kyei ede atuja. Anse na beko no so wonya subscribe to channel na subscribe to channel no like a video no na share ma afoforo so ensa enka bi comment section ho eye wodia chewa dwen e comment section ho and as obetima send voice note afa number ya eda o screen so no ye be publish ama amansan so ate wonka yenti eye ensema Ivan Innocent Kyei ede atuja.
So we conversation around this IMF deal shasi aye koswa. Me da bia me kase Ghana for no eya nyatwem because focus no nyina is ya shift to the IMF discussion. But incident is see and name SCC ma ye bedru abi edru ya na the IMF became the only option, you know. So say those conversations ni nyina to nchan and I focus on the IMF bailout. My culture that I say IMF ye fancy bailout na say for no and no enya redemptive card I betimi dey agi ye ho free problems aye because 18th time na ye koi e kiro say previous ones na ya according to be solve your problems. But the question you should be asking yourselves are buy no nhye ne niam buy no dey agu akwan mu a economically ne ya nkasa ye betimi anya some take off economy ne betimi brief certain lives into it. for quite some time now, a Ghana economy now dip under the bus in a conversation. No, you've never heard anything from Obia Abaimun Crew for so Obi stress in any alternative aside the IMF bailout na you know. But consistently, all the arguments center on the IMF bailout. So the question I will be able to say IMF bailout ni sika say na free mobile because I know me who Reuters publication ya buy this year yenya 1.2 billion. 601, 600, another 600 will come. That is if you're able to pass the second semi-annual review. You me a pass here 1.2 billion. And I say back me infuse into this economy. We are talking about an economy within a period of 4 to 5 years. You infuse over $11 billion into the same economy. Besi na yakasa fa won sachere ade ba konso atimi and the kind of impact on the economy. I'm not sure anybody in this particular studio betimi abo e de bia adini. And consistently the fortunes of Ghana economically na sinking because economy had over by 11 billion. I infuse now he borrow ya see borrow ni nyina chi tax revenues yajeje in the period ni nyina no entimi anya any economic impact on the economy to the extent say economy is sinking so low that we have to return to the IMF. I clearly sure say this IMF we know anya the solution here. It is not about the money but the prudent management of Sikana in Sabekano because nkrofo no mo ebu oman no show any remorse Omunyan show and give Ghana for any hope they are going to do something different. It's the same thing now. The discussion about second for a town coffee, president gave assurance the ultimate baggy the IMF deal now and that conversation is off the table. President has never even raised it or so the same person can for the same management team now. They are the very people who are still leading this country at this particular point in time. And my culture say loan na yajejeje na se for no ma yaba bedru ehase no eye loans a ebi eba be mene like China for instance someone now will be say about say ye be lusu ye nema you see China has this hostile foreign policy your friend saying initiative for the name wiase and no form no mfa nche uji ni sika mfa nche that is the policy of modernam because we nim say Sri Lanka ebe fall no na or the China ka China for and share the fact that Sri Lanka was then falling. Omo koso asizi omo nema and Sri Lanka economy no a crash na hwehwa. And there are series of examples in Africa. Zambia, winning. What happened to them with their national broadcasting? We are listed on Star Times and in proceed. No, majority of them go to China and several other examples. A bit me aside is China. No, ewo no ankasa ne policy or the name we say ukojini sika and yadia say or the becho. So it's possible we may lose all these things. Say yetimi antimi antiayaka and maybe a there is no indication a bit me to yaka.
Ebanana do cross idea to just say and a bit me capital market. I could borrow more because IMF.
Yes. We see when this whole IMF discussion started, a month for you, they don't know. Me can say I could for the government and yet 3 billion now every IMF and I'm interested. But they are looking for credit worthiness to be able to go to your friends like the credit space to borrow because once IMF amount that particular card and say amount programmer a sure say a proof certain confidence and my investor confidence to certain extent a cost so I bet check $1 no for quite some time now. Who say at me appreciate it and then no keke Zambia abrano mudi IMF achieve for quite a long time September 2022 omunya omudi no after a day after now omokwacha no abaya the your friends say best performing currency in the world because of that particular win say ya baggy deal no but subsequently no they were not able to sustain it and at some point in time niama as omu meet along the line ko omontimi meet and the economy ehase go back to baby na na go back to Zambia na kokohwe even though they had IMF deal subsequent sikana say eba no enam so omontimi meet those targets no Ghana we have a lot of targets because we need IMF deal na enya no no Paris Club and China for our forming that particular credit committee assurance of the IMF says they will help us to say a secure program no and the man say but China aside China being our biggest bilateral defense creditor no there are other components because China sika I'm say 1.7 billion but your friends said the credit space na nkasa be the commercial market na Eurobond no one I honor sika the kase a car around 13 billion. And those Sccanndal Eurobond they are fine because individual business maya or Mako Boyako shares in as for those monies, Adam so that the IMF is looking at us acquire for 70 negotiating, and even locally, still there is the need for us to further your taxes, a home semi. And a car, the amount for Sabaya, Sika buying the financing those things, will definitely go down. So Samara and Saka Sika, we are first ranch in Abano. It's not a closing act, but it's a prelude to something. To me and that money and ma. And over the years, you go back and ask yourself, say, Sikana Yajin or Chrome Hanen Yamahuna Yadia, some of the policies are Mokas Yen review. It has always been over because, like this free SHS, so here your constitution, and the horse say, your friend is saying, yes, that is the amount of money and I'm making Ghana 1.7 billion. So Sikana, you know, to 13 billion. No, that is the biggest. Your friend said the Eurobond. Sikano, you young can once more. That negotiation around it and start here. Paris Club, Sikana 1.9, and then China did the first one and the last one. Omo Sika and yet me any agreement from them. But the larger chunk now multilateral, which is 8.2, the Eurobond, which is 13.2, you young can once. So along the line, no see Timia restructure na yan cancer same way. Na yan fancy baby we may even lose the deal, and that is a fact. So I think the government has a responsibility. And untina sabi yebetimi achieve yetimi achieve na program na successful no. That is why IMF is calling on us there. The free SHS program over the years ya pompi sika bebre aguma sabi makacho se program na ya anwene ho na akofo obi otu sin kwa education minister na okotena na obi onse munipa nka ho na po when they were drafting the free SHS policy no. Na adwuma be no ye na no ko gina kumawu ntinse mu na no gina no ka minister sabi nipa to abama represent nipa no ka kire omo se kumawufo obo they were Ashantis t-shirt no mu here they don't need development. He made those comments and got away. Nipa omo sector na so engage omo Emma stakeholder engagement because so I'm yet to identify what the problems are. Now you're coming out with the policy initiative a bit media address, That's a free SHS policy, they be roll out nkakra said ya sabi ya ho so na se bit me aye your friends say overall mobile enjoy but you mobile they roll it out as a political reparation package. You promising us say you buy the free SHS baba. Say be you enye you ye de yanwene ho na ya to program na to. So over the years, if you look at the amount of money ye de akoshem, IMF say your friends saying target na ye ka say your friends say target na nema ye de see so even educational outcomes no kra no has been described say a poor than as a for no. We invested in a sector Sebe ya obetime nya quality ama manfo akobebre na end of the day no so wo hwe your school sem ne said the nema esiko the challenges and kra no go through a clear nature say educational outcomes yentimi nya the papa bia mfirim. So that particular policy definitely they will force you to review. And then one other program and government over the years meno yenyina ka se nyansa anim this cathedral and sema sebi yatam sika buma chama manfo David Ajaya bajene there because we draw nema the good paper so people were going up and down as so far sebi who are supposed to have divine wisdom udi nyame achi am se wanya hwe de nyansa de wunya bi ba krom ha de udi nyame achi wanya hwe nyansa de obenya bi but yenya nipa sabi omo ewo krom ha nipa dom di omonum who were supposed to speak sense to government at that time no cathedral enya priority because Ghana tamra bra bia na yegina na enye ye but omo sha aban asi kutupa ebo no ma ye de sika ko share sa niam we nyina ma enne okọ the center of Accra tokro na yabo ato ho sika no de kokọ na aban enya nsesa na adwen sabi ye de sa niam we eba ba ye Mugabe oman Ghana yegina ha sisi aye beg oh twade o ntwam Try your own job, but you need to review it. But review, as to how. Oh, now when it comes to cheap politics, then I say for or one case or munim dada. And so far, my catcher said this free SHS policy there is a way out because I can sit here and tell you confidently, say Ghana and you'll be in here free SHS. So the Nippon more minum no. You just look at the economic status of everybody. You know more the upper class, the middle class, and then the lower class. So when you do this review, then you identify which category of people are or here the free SHS. So with me map out those strategies, you realize a significant number of people are on here wholesale free SHS. And no more say on here 50%. And no more as Omutiano. ebetimi amasabi sikane na sefo ayede hye saa nnemunam eswate ba over no plan nothing stakeholders in the sector no kra no you never engage any of them no answer ya to obi ankom and consistently ye lose sika and so school no even feeding has become a problem. I spoke to Obia Oye your friend is saying Danny Hop prefect or one of the schools in BA or said your moya and says or more butter trade says school be or more now or the sugar corner of Hakwaje. That is what they are doing. And we will go to Danny Hall at the what they call bread the cry and me. I remember those days when we were in school. So, and we are not there were no problems by a cocoa crown or sugar. These are the challenges I tell so as a government, you know, policy na yede buy no and nam say young men who sabi even infrastructure crab a problem. When there are Samara Domahama started in the E-blocks and for some of the buildings are still in the bush. When government, you know very well say, so who are the up small money to those things now? You bet to me up to those structures on stream I'm for school. But and I'm saying the na abusuana yebuno a few individuals abia omo family ties in a certain fraternity bi ntino omo free so omo nim nyansa achen obia and consistently no they are just driving this particular country into a hellhole. So in the media omo nuano it's a hellhole mu na yakoi amana tokro ma yakwa kwahye ma chambu nsam jam Mugabe, Omunuan more media, the so-called traditional media, and yaba hatcha for no, omono, and most of them are themselves with microphones. They are more than terrorists, and Omu push your minor and Ediako, Omuntimin kind of cringe in the part, or my mercenaries. Their allegiance is to who give them money, and consistently we are going down. These are people who problems. I go to school because we are what here journalists. I'm sure some people speak to you. You know the problems going on in the school. And those people, no more so-called big platforms. Why are they not using their influence to speak or impress on government? Young coming out with policy because IMF from catches in review this particular way. But other side, then this say politics. We say now politics because consistently outcomes no papa. So as a bino, you need to pause at least every policy be an original who the outcomes. But the free researchers now be pay as you go. Ya to her. Yeah, that's already the problem. Bani a solve. And that's a problem. Bani a solve because there is no blueprint. There is no your friend saying a framework be at the high. Yakoba no one say gidi nkwana ya namso. And then ma William Fisher on my na yegyina hai sa man na ya president Tamsika no de ko han private jet na otimo akoba wiwi na ya Kenyan sasema no obi ante no on my we your president and then we are on a bended knees asking IMF for redemption when your president no han jet ekoba ya Kenyan sasema bi a kire na wontie and then Ghana na wie ye ne so Mugabe this IMF deal yes mahu amam for more chanting na se for no but me free say an opportunity for us to drive ourselves further into the ditch because government with this credit worthy because see I'm not say do you know say World Bank kasa for your friends saying $900 million and there are several other discussions going on enti busianda ye baba brogu ha enti akufo ado bekono na your debt portfolio no chesa uya ho hwe and then
but they have nothing to show.
No, there's absolutely nothing to show for. Because your cassette has a see anabo and near mam nami bakwana mi nudini. I bet me jina so kasa okay. Say Ghana your debt akwa could do 600 billion. You bet me bibiaka. Na no metisana obika am say baumi o sahwan. Or say Ghana yesika yakana akwa could do 600 billion no. And yes aban ko bob bosia bebiro na exchange rate your friend say depreciation you know. And I make say exchange rate me ma na hwe so na sa papa na hwe so. Was it not the same baumia and all catch Ghana for say the previous government was so clueless omuntimi manage and the Twitter however or no bar or be arrested the dollar and the dollar no yes and the exchange rate you know add a significant chunk of money to our debt portfolio. Why responsibility no so I think that we are here because of reckless incompetence and amount feel comfortable. For instance, I heard the Kanofurata na still or what the M-Fountry to be walking around in this particular country playing finance minister. Clearly, I just our mind in the focus. So we need to hold them out and no one in the belt.
Answer na yebeto Ivan Innocent Kyei nensem sono. Yes, China is likely to see certain state properties. Sena omoyen was Sri Lanka and afin sono Zimbabwe. Now, do you think say this Sikaya IMF approval amaye yebeti media chucha ye ho ana looking at some huge amount of money be wasted in the previous years are the same people are going to use Sikaya IMF approval amaye almost the the face of the economy? Is it really possible? And if it's possible, Can these same people also do it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Yentoa and Sama Ivan Innocent Kyei Editu Janoso.
Yes, so Mugabe, the economy at the national level, no, a aggregation of your friends say economic interaction are also grounds. So the eco grounds, no, so the very moment who's a minor national economy and you know, a just individual life our mind sabi and neman and solution to that particular problem, no. And yes, I hear the taxes, but because nipa no ho chire and then they reflect it at the top in a larger form. And see, a bind there, you know, how now go into the thinking room. Quite a very innovative. Now the economic policies about betting that turning the situation around. But unfortunately, Adrian, my or mine no cry, Adrian Sabi. Won't even find home to so because we been paying for a more drink to some cry, and these are people who are leading the country. For instance, a bra galamsey buy no, and I try to find a solution to galamsey problem no. Solution president ba odema ba ko say so ko nwuram na kwachi say ya the excavator to galamsey ya twajatum na hye no na Mugabe sa adwen we na ebu oman how can this particular country ebetime pull out of economic mess? When you know say e kwan a egu krom ha say you need these excavators in na se for no Mugabe since a president minya kokodru no catch us say okochi excavator because ya di two galamsey national sa obampanyin no any the intellectual weight to lead a mind only
you know one say obi appoint na ma bontin
exactly so yes so that poverty of intellect now mo display no
and no one say appoint boy dey no and then appoint e be 2000 e be 1005 it said that kokoro mo timi 5 for this
so enti the time make catch us say adwen a lead your mind no emu
ebiti na ntwie so on nam ne better than watching ntwie what the na be wo awo ye man be wo
am go chom
Mugabe enti adwen na ebu o mind no
adwen asa
emu ha so we expect say they will come out with policies and we able to address Ghana your problem menya sure say ebenya bi enu nti na o mind no kwhye ye friend say ahohiehie mu a ye nyina obi esu frɛ aban so de nhyehyɛ beba no the only redemptive alternative a ye benya and say IMF for bema ye deal. And the question is say IMF deal no nyama ya yanso na say people a amanfo say ebinim so mu ye PhD ebinim so makɔ your friend say school e wo Harvard ne na say for no mu nyina egu aban no mu no why na adwen to come up with an initiative a yanso no ye betimi de aye kakra ade redeem ye ho and sika kakra na aka krom ha nipa betena se adwena hu say okay ahokyere abanti no as a government no say me government no kra no say yes spend more how do I cut down expenditure? One of the things I know you ready so I can say government and resize it the size of government or because some of the ministries in say for nipa 82 omoka okwa we be a port esi ho ase bi port bi ani ho na ye tue nipa ka nipa mugu the Flagstaff house say bi hu ade omoye and all these people no stipends ye first emolument no we dey more on monthly basis no ni nyina drani oman no. So as obi asabi we need the house wubu o man no these are some of the things I want kasa on your own obeye say be ya manfo mo ti abonti be hu say papa you serious enti so man no kra ho akire na yenkwa na yenkwa ye ne moa ye hu sa nneema we bia and consistently sika na ye hye ne sa the lifestyle Akufo-Addo alive over the years a period a Ghana ho akire no and show president asabi ne man akwa ho yehiam he's living like a royalty like a king or enjoy life to the fullest. Nabusianfo, you know the kind of investment individual guys in his government are doing. Obakofo Sebi, Otikromo obi enye hu adwuma oye, timi kosi the whole sports stadium e Ochebi. Nobody is asking him where he got those money from. And among for CCC, your friends are vela na asefo e Ofori I do weekends na ya sesa ya namfo for asesa nwie na gukam na yakoji ene na yaba. So while Ghana for suffer, these people are living large and the president is aware. So bisa ho say insese be na aban no de ba sese ameno ka say just look at the rate ukọ banks okobo bosia na bi wo mpo de na akọ bank look at your first inflation numbers and these are the indicators actually how well an economy is doing and government is taking no measure. We see dollar na ye digigigi ba form no me say ema we me ema ye nada nipa as to whether it is sustainable or not no is another thing because my culture say the very moment ubenya the go ahead for IMF say amount deal no initially no a better that particular impact and the Zambia there your example but going forward you know they were not able to sustain it because even the minor criteria so muhia ema IMF the subsequent trenches in the crano or to me. So the questions we should be asking ourselves at this point in time say and now Bina demonstrated nothing but recklessness and incompetence, going forward. This deal here by Ukraine, how I bet me leverage it's another thing because Mugabe baby ejina kwan be fasa ebetiminde sa ankrofo na yede omokana an negotiate especially on the your friends credit space Eurobond for no a betimi ate ase ebe mo better deal ama sabi sika no kwan ani tuam no yebetimi aye ho bibi and there are other multilateral way a omonso no yede omoka over 8 billion. How do we go ahead because yentimi anya any positive way bia the subsequent tranches will not come and then yakwakopema no enti on our own no e dey na ye consistently abanu to sikagu to sikagu we can baby as a kokra na de ko hye ye fe niemo ma Ghana for ahoahenhan because there are enough money here to gui senka ye de ko education no kuram na nka sabi nkra no ahokyere mu komi yetimi apagya yesuku sam ama adesua na ho ne ma akosora sabi there is hope there future leaders na ye caught you to come and inherit this country in the future. No, at least we are giving them a better education. Go to the schools and look at the kwaya krano the nema omo kwaya assisting on team school. I did hear asem at the chira them and person because IMF now catch us that the educational outcome now has been poor and over the years we are winning the educational system. We've been complaining about the disconnect between academia and job market in nema I trust and keep bridge the two no say no infrastructure be problem and krano school assisting them krana be problem then air compound textbooks omunibi. So I didn't hear my day was school. No. So there is a major challenge. And you know, ba. Eba see now, President Mahama Sembia or can say the banking sector clean up na young men who are fast so a gugu amount for banking and then sanka hono. It's one of the key things because Mugabe, Makacha says some of the smaller banks, now they were feeding certain individuals within the economic supply chain, access to credit at the lower level or media didra amasavi kasama kosoro. So oba yoba yi sa na free hono. Those people the access to credit near katia free because those guys on to be Eco banks or loan. And as a buyer no as you expect our economy to grow no one kasa because of our bro and so we are short-sighted now we need vision what cutting those people off and their contribution to the growth of the economy no way free so the economy is not growing abaya stagnant and then abaya borrowing. Now president I will say Ghana economy your friends Ghana beyond aid and then Akufo-Addo has become a chief beggar at the global stage ninsa onam no or sram for sika and no opportunity kujina we are not catch as African leaders should stop begging me nipa kro ya otwa speeches man because I'm so mon ho and the beba omu team bia no match paper so na ye den because obi a we are the principal chief beggar our Africa has here all over the world chief beggar obi or even diplomat kwa waba krom hakra na sebi o come with a different thing na ya koto nanim say esra kopa China chama kopa we bilateral we mai kopa when we had an option especially with this yes common framework e ba ya COVID-19 by catch us amana mo ho kire mo no and answer mo kados because Ghana then now you dey over 50 billion a year and you dey service your debt and na you dey dia say because of COVID-19 no Monina mun sign up to that common initiative no na se mo ye sa ade na ye betimi ne ye mo partners na kasa na sabi mo ka no ya na flexible amamo kendo forata na mkron sa armre na sika ba na sabi ona mudi nsem hunu no kokoti o se Ghana is a proud nation ye nko then we defaulted and ye do mochi we are begging say omontu ye mfa mpom na sabi ye nkonkotom sabe ya Eurobond sika no o betimi aro negotiate amaye sabe ya IMF deal no be seek light. These are guys we are dealing with enti what ha. Now the fortunes, the economic fortunes of Ghana are resting on the shoulders of these clueless, incompetent guys. Sebi, their motive is to perfect the act of stealing because it's all that they have been doing. Say that their specialty area. That is what they are doing because on mine as a panini, nobody's holding anybody accountable. And no be and because panini oma. And who sustain signs of leadership, people will be responsible. Now more kasakra wente. So I think that we have a lot to do as people.
Fantastic. Medasi, Ivan.
For a brilliant submission, Ivan Innocent Kyei ediato eja enye. Yade yansem no ebeson ha chewa dwen ewo comment section ho and I said send the voice note efa number ya eda o screen so no. Yebe publish ama amansan so ate wonka. Na uwe ano like Jumadie no wa share ama afofron so ensa I can be. Yebe share in the next video. Makra.